I mean, just perfect on the chin.
Aura. For some fighters, it comes naturally. It's an unwavering presence that makes them seem larger than life. To put it simply, their punches are more powerful than their personalities. An aura cannot be faked. It's evident in their gait, their intimidating demeanor, and the way the audience perceives them before they enter the cage. Today, we're ranking UFC fighters with the least to the most aura. Let's begin. Number 10, Colby Covington. Not always for the best reasons, Colby Covington is one of the most divisive personalities in the UFC. He developed his character by promoting fights with exaggerated theatrics, playing the villain, and engaging in trash talk. The issue? Everything seems so contrived. He lacks the innate charm that makes a boxer genuinely engaging, as evidenced by his WWE-style promos and prepared comments. His aura isn't scary, despite his undeniable skill. Rather, it's more of an act that people accept than admire. Even his harshest detractors acknowledge that Covington is a different guy when the cameras are not rolling, even though he depends on scandal to remain relevant. He remains close to the top of the category because of his talent, but aura? It's impossible to fake that. Unless Covington was shouting via a microphone, no one would notice him in a room full of UFC legends. Number 9, Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland exudes an air that's more disorganized than authoritative. He's the type of fighter who doesn't think before he speaks, which is entertaining but also not helpful to him. Strickland's character is rough, wild, and sometimes unsettling, like an unrestrained Twitter rant, compared to some UFC fighters who cultivate a calculated mystique. He's distinctive without being over the top due to his tendency to utter the most outrageous statements at press conferences or in the gym. He's a talented and relentless fighter, but his aura does not have the mythical presence that makes enemies shiver in anticipation of a fight. Strickland's more of a wild card than an actual great, which makes him quite dangerous in the octagon. While he most definitely has a presence, he's more of a reckless troublemaker than an aura monarch. Number 8, Aljamain Sterling. Despite his world-class skill set and being a lead fighter, the aura of Aljamain Sterling is surprisingly less than how successful he is. While he was a great grapple artist with a balanced set of skills, his time as a bantamweight champion was not full of dominant swag like the other all-timers. Winning the title due to Peter Yan's illegal knee and being subsequently disqualified is part of the core criticism against him. While being skilled, several questioned his legitimacy, which kind of set him up for a questionable championship journey. The stigma was still there even when Sterling presented a strong argument for his title. While he oozes confidence, he does not possess the charismatic aura that makes opponents or fans feel they're amid greatness. Number 7, Henry Cejudo. A former 2-time UFC champion, Olympic gold medalist, and one of the most technically skilled MMA fighters in history is Henry Cejudo. Yet his presence doesn't quite live up to his resume, despite his achievements. Why? The Triple C persona. To attract attention, Cejudo leaned into embarrassing trash talk and extravagant stunts rather than projecting a relaxed, natural appearance. It was somewhat effective, but also made him difficult to believe. Although he had unquestionable skill, his aura was never as strong as that of warriors like Khabib or John Jones, who were able to project dominance with ease. Cejudo felt more like a man who was making an excessive effort to get attention. Although his skill places him in the annals of history, his gimmicks overpower his aura when it comes to a fighter's presence. Number 6, Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier is one of the most recognized fighters in the UFC, but his reputation is based more on hard work than dominance. He's a blue-collar fighter who's tough, robust, and battle-hardened. He wins against Conor McGregor, Justin Gaethje, and Max Holloway have made him a fan favorite, yet he doesn't act in a frightening or intimidating manner. He lacks the aloof, commanding manner of legends like Khabib or John Jones, and is one who's known for a more grounded image because he's the one who gains respect via deeds rather than mystery. He will break an opponent in battle, but he's not the kind to freeze him with a stare down. Although he may not have an elite aura, he's one of the sport's most respected fighters because of his heart, talent, and toughness. If you're still here, props to you. You've powered through the fighters with the weakest aura. Make your presence known by giving this video a like before we enter the cage with the actual aura giants. Number 5. Israel Adesanya. One of the most unique auras in the UFC belongs to Israel Adesanya, who is undoubtedly gifted and as cool as ice. He excels at making lasting impressions with both his walkouts and post-fight comments. He's a true showman due to his smooth talking, unshakable confidence, and ability to get inside his opponent's heads. Defeats from Jan Blachowicz, Alex Pereira, and Sean Strickland did hurt his image, which goes on to show that even the toughest warriors aren't invincible. Despite this, supporters know that they're in for a treat when he's fighting. Israel Adesanya isn't necessarily sitting atop the aura rankings, but his presence cannot be denied. Love him or hate him, when he's on the screen, you can't ignore him. Number 4. Jon Jones. Jon Jones creates a completely different atmosphere. He seems to be one step ahead at all times due to his mind games, unshakable confidence, and ability to shift strategies mid-fight. In addition to fighting Jon Jones, those he goes up against enter his realm, one where he rules everything. Jones is unquestionably talented, and he's always appeared unbeatable within the cage, regardless of the issues that have occurred outside of it. His aura stems from his conviction that he would always find a way to prevail. He causes fighters to doubt themselves, whether it's by hitting, wrestling, or sheer brains. Nonetheless, a lot of people think Jones' aura has diminished with time. Some have questioned whether he still has the same sense of fear over others he once did, but this is largely due to lengthy layoffs, controversies, and fewer commanding performances. Number 3. Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor has one of the strongest auras in the history of combat sports, whether you're a fan or not. He had a superstar aura from the moment he stepped into the UFC, accompanied by superior striking ability and the ability to mentally destroy opponents before the fight even started. The precision knockouts, the trash talk, the walk. Everything about McGregor shouted bigger than life. His talent to sell tickets for fights was unmatched, and he even turned press conferences into major events. His aura is still there, even though his brightness has been somewhat muted by losses and inactivity. McGregor's name continues to dominate headlines even when he isn't fighting. People pay attention to him, whether he's causing controversy or discussing a comeback. And because of this, not many people can dispute the aura he has. Number 2. Francis Ngannou. The aura of Francis Ngannou is based on unadulterated, terrifying strength rather than words. Seeing him fight was like seeing a real-life superhero who could wipe out entire careers with a single blow. Opponents were uneasy by his physical presence alone, but once the battle began, their nightmares turned into reality. Apart from that, his tale of overcoming tremendous poverty to become the most feared puncher in MMA history also contributed to his aura. Ngannou didn't need psychological warfare or trash talk. His fists are what did the talking, and because of this, he has an aura that not many can match. Number 1. Khabib Nurmagomedov. Khabib Nurmagomedov's presence was rooted in total dominance, so he did not need flashy entrances or trash talk. The opponents knew exactly what would be happening: defeat, suffocating control, and takedown. But stopping it was a different story. He was one of the most feared opponents in UFC history due to his unbeaten record, relentless pressure, and strict demeanor. His presence was a result of an unshakable will and the knowledge that no one could match his game. The way he addressed other fighters and criticism was simple and straightforward, yet frightening. Khabib was the epitome of discipline, and his fame only expanded after he retired unbeaten. His aura was based on unquestionable superiority rather than controversy or flair. Within the cage, Khabib commanded respects only a few can obtain. One thing is certain, aura or not, these fighters have shown themselves to be true beasts in the octagon. What are your thoughts? Be sure to watch these others, since we believe you'll love them too.